Here we go again. Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome back to my channel for more sad news. It's fine. First of all, just wanted to say that I know it looks like I haven't showered in a week or two or three, but actually I put a hair mask in and that's why my hair looks super greasy. I'm as clean as ever. So, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a really fun time, except it's really not. I feel like this video is gonna be even harder to make than the last one. And this time I don't have a script, and this is just gonna be really like raw and off the top of my head. And I can't believe I'm doing this. It feels so weird. But I'm gonna try my best to fill you in on everything. So, first of all, I have not been honest with you guys for a while about something, and that is that a year ago, like pretty much exactly a year ago, Aaron and I broke up, and we have not been together this whole time. And what that means is we broke up in Memphis, and we moved here to Johnson City together while broken up. We did that on purpose. We knew what we were signing up for, kind of, I think, I don't know. But we didn't come here as a couple. We came here as friends slash roommates slash exes, which a lot of people thought was weird, but I didn't think it was that weird because we had already been broken up for however many months, and we were just really close, I guess, and nothing felt weird with him. He was my best friend, and I don't know, I just didn't care that if we were together or not. I just wanted to stay with him regardless, you know? So I tried to stay with him as friends, and we came here and whatever, and that was fine for a while. And things got really complicated. I tried to think about what I was gonna include in this video, but I don't know what I should be talking about. But I guess it's my channel and it's my life, and who the fuck cares? So I can say whatever I want, and I can expose whoever I want, and maybe that's just what I'll do. Or maybe I'll chicken out and cut some parts out later. But I'm just gonna tell you what I've been going through, because it's been really hard for me. It's been the hardest thing that I've been going through for months. So Aaron's side of the story is obviously different than mine. I don't know his. He doesn't talk to me. He didn't talk to me. But what I know, my side, is that he confirmed to me that he had been trying to get back together with me for a long time, during that year that we were living together while broken up. And I did get that, and we broke up because it was really messed up, honestly. He broke up with me, but it was because I didn't really have feelings for him anymore. And it was very messed up, and I'm the type of person to not ever give up on anyone or anything, and I didn't know when to give up on our relationship, so I just never did. And it got to the point where he drew the line, I guess, and said, you know what, like, you're not even a good girlfriend anymore. It doesn't even feel like you care about me. We need to just, like, be done. He's tried to break up with me so many times, by the way, and that goes way, way back. But that was before I became a shitty girlfriend. So a lot of what made me lose feelings for him, I think, has to do with our past, because there were a lot of things that he did to me before I was the bad guy that really fucked me up. And let me just say, he was not bae material either. So yeah, I lost interest in him, and he called it quits. Hello. We broke up in March of 2019, and we moved here in September. So from March to September, we were friends, or like trying to be friends, because obviously when we first broke up, it wasn't like just naturally, normally friends. Like, we went through a pretty rough patch because Everything he did bothered me, and I was constantly annoyed by him, and he was constantly sad that we were broken up, but I was like, well, what the hell? You're the one who broke up with me. And the whole thing was just really annoying and unnecessary to me, and I was just really fucking sick of him. I don't know what it was, but he just really got on my nerves, and living with somebody is different, dude. Like, when you're with somebody 24/7, they can really bother you. I was just over it. I had been over it for a while. So it's not like I was starting to get over him in March after we broke up. It was like I had been over him already for a while, and I just never did anything about it because I still loved him. I just wasn't in love with him. And hi, I'm in love with you. Yeah. So, he was the most relevant person in my life for almost 4 years. Um, I saw him every day, no matter where we were. For the past 4 years, we either lived together or I was basically living at his parents' house because there was a point when I was never home and I was always at his house. We slept there every night. Our relationship goes way fucking back, like all the way back to high school. And to put in perspective, this should be my third year of college. It's not though because I took a break, so I'm a little behind. But I'm 21, right? We got together when I was 17 and he was 16. He has been the most relevant person from then until now. He was my literal everything, and something obviously changed down the line, but just so you know, like, he was it. And he was always the one trying to give up on me and our relationship. And anytime things got hard, he'd be like, let's break up. And I'd be like, what the hell? No, that's not how that works. Like, work through it, put some effort in. Like, what are you doing? I was his first relationship, so he didn't know. He just didn't know. We didn't have that common sense. The amount of times that I had to explain to him like the same thing over and over is just so embarrassing. Like, he is brain damaged. I know I'm being mean, but it's like I can't not be mean after all of this, and you'll understand by the time I get to the end. But long story short, I guess, he had been trying to get back together with me when we were in Memphis, and I kept saying no, because I wasn't interested in him, and why would I want to, like, lead him on or make things worse if, like, what's the point? Why waste somebody's time? I'm not gonna do that. And like a few days or something after we moved in, my mom died. So all I know from this place is just her not being here. That's what I associate it with. So once my mom died, I obviously became like, I went from happy to sad real quick, you know what I'm saying? So I became more needy. I didn't like being left alone. It was really hard for me to just be left alone with my thoughts. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. I knew this was gonna happen. I'm literally gonna be crying through this whole video. It's gonna fucking suck. But, when my mom died, I really fucking needed someone so bad. And he told me that he was there for me. And, I think he was lying because he wasn't. He never did anything for me. He always just pretended that nothing was wrong and nothing was happening and I didn't need anybody. I needed him then more than ever, ever, ever in my whole life. That's when I needed him the most. And I'm not religious, but I do think that everything happens for a reason. And I believed that the reason I still had him with me at that point in my life, even though we were broken up, is because he was meant to help me through my mom's death. And I guess that wasn't true. He actually made it harder. He kind of invalidated my feelings and made it seem like it wasn't a big deal, which is literally insane because hello, like, your mom dying, that's a huge deal. Like, imagine if it was his. It was so dumb. lost all feelings and sympathy. He didn't have anything. He just turned into a heartless person overnight, and I can't explain it. But yeah, so basically he wasn't there when I needed him, and actually, to make things worse, he started talking to somebody else. And he tried denying everything about it. He tried denying that he liked her. He tried denying that she was more important to him than I was, which really pissed me off because he did care more about her than he cared about me, which blew my mind and hurt so bad because how could you care about somebody you just met more than somebody you've known and loved for years? That's how I knew something was wrong, because that's not normal, because I never did anything. We had been friends for a year. Everything was fine. We were on great terms. Um, I don't understand what happened. I don't understand um, why I wasn't good enough anymore for him. Yeah. I don't get what I did. Why he stopped caring about me, it didn't make sense because I never stopped caring about him for a second, and I always showed him that I cared, and I was there for him even when I was mad at him, and I was there for him when we were broken up, and I had always been the best friend he had, and I know him better than anybody else does, and I can say that for a fact. I know him. I've learned him. He is a complicated person. Um, and it just really hurt that he was choosing this girl who knew nothing about him over me, somebody that was his biggest supporter. And I was just really unappreciated by him. I don't know what the reason is. I can't think of one reason, and he couldn't either. When I asked him, he didn't know. He could not explain why all of a sudden he didn't want anything to do with me and literally simply didn't care about me anymore to any extent. So when we were broken up, you guys gotta know this really does change the story. We didn't act like we were broken up. We didn't have boundaries. That's what I'm gonna say. We were very close. We were much closer than we should have been physically. And it stayed that way up until he met this girl, which was probably in like October or November. We were close. We shared the same bed all the way up until that point. We were broken up and we slept together every night. And I was so used to having him there. And to me, it just didn't mean anything about like what if we were together or not. Like, that's just a label. Like, we were what we were. And what we were was best friends, closer than any other friendship I've ever known or experienced. Um, I felt so comfortable with him, and nothing was ever awkward or weird, or because people always love to ask, isn't it so weird living with your ex? And it's like, no, not at all. It doesn't mean anything. All I know is that he's my favorite person and that we spend time together and it's a great time. And, you know, so one night he didn't sleep with me, and I was really used to him sleeping with me. And I don't mean it like that. I just mean like in this bed. Like, he was here. He literally used to sleep right there. And I was here. But one day he didn't come to bed. He just slept on the couch downstairs. And that hurt because I was so used to him being there all the time, literally all the time. And it had nothing to do with having feelings for each other. I don't think it didn't have to do with him liking me or wanting to get back together with me. It was just a person. He was my favorite, most closest person to me. And I loved him. And like I said, labels didn't mean anything. It didn't matter if we were together or not. And I think that was my biggest thing. It was like, why get back together? Why put a label on it? Why can't we just be what we are and just appreciate what we have? And I know that sounds shady, like maybe I didn't want like the public to know about it, but I've been lying to you guys this whole time. You guys have been thinking that we never even broke up, so I had no problem telling people about him and showing him off, and he's still on my Instagram. Which I'm not gonna tell you guys. And by the way, I did make a new Instagram at suchmel, but I'm not gonna show you the other one if you don't know me personally. Sorry. But there are pictures of him on there still, and I don't want to delete them. It's so hard. And it took me a really long time too to delete like our date, because I put our date on my Instagram 7/26/16. 2016, are you kidding me? That was so long ago, and I had that on my bio for so long, and after we broke up, I just refused to delete it, and it took me a really long time to get there, and he didn't have an Instagram at the time, so it didn't matter, and he didn't even know, I don't think, but I didn't want to let go. I'm not the type of person to ever let go of anyone or anything. If I have an option, I don't give up. So, all the times he tried to break up with me, I said, no, let's fight it. Let's keep trying. Let's make it work. Let's figure out what's not working and find some solutions and just push through, because we're so much better than this and we have so much potential, and I want to marry you and you are my future. You are everything. But he was always the one wanting to leave. His first instinct was to leave, and I didn't let him. I always convinced him to stay with me. But when he broke up with me, when it really happened, I let it, because I was like, what kind of person would I be to force somebody to stay with me who I don't even like anymore? But all the other times that I forced him to stay was because I was in love with him, and I could not imagine a world without him. And I still couldn't, even after we broke up. And now I see what that world is like, and it's terrible. So anyway, we were living together in peace. We had fun together. Everything was fine. We still stayed kind of physical, not necessarily like that, but I want to just tell you guys everything. Guys, we showered together. We did everything together. We were so fucking close. That's so not normal, and I know it's not, but oh my god, it just was everything. It was my life. He was my life. And the second he made new friends and met this girl, he dumped me to the curb like I was nothing. And he turned into a different person overnight. I kid you not. Something happened literally overnight. One second he cared about me, and the next he didn't even make eye contact with me. He wanted nothing to do with me. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't make time for me. He wouldn't hang out with me. He wouldn't respond to my texts. And we still lived together. And obviously, especially when my mom just died, you have to keep in mind, my mom had just died throughout all of this. And I needed him. And he should have known that. Because I told him. It's not like I expected him to read my mind. I told him I can't be left alone. I can't, my thoughts just, I can't be left alone with them. And I'm not doing well. So before Aaron started prioritizing this girl and his new friends before me, there was one night when we were laying in bed together. It was totally normal. It was during that time that we always slept together, and we were just used to it, and we were just friends, and it was fine. I feel like we were quiet for a while, just like trying to go to sleep, and then out of nowhere he just said, "Will you go out with me?" And at this point, we'd been broken up for so freaking long and we hadn't talked about getting back together in a while. And I sat there for like 30 seconds and I was like, how do I respond to this? Because I was confused about why he was asking. I didn't know what he meant. So I said, what do you mean? I played stupid. And he said, will you go on a date with me? I wasn't interested in him, but it's just a date, and you know, if he had been trying to get back together with me for that long, yeah, I mean, a date is not a big deal. So, and I already knew him so well, and we already hang out all the time, so I was like, sure, whatever. Um, but I was just confused about like what his intentions were because we already like, do you know what I mean? So I said yes to the date. And literally after that, that's when the switch happened. That's when he turned into a different person. And pretty much the next day, he was being dismissive and he was just not being nice. He turned into a very mean, insensitive person. So at this point, after he asked me on the date, he almost instantly started talking to this girl and talking about her and hanging out with her and texting her all the literal time. I am so not kidding when I say all the time. And they work together all the time. Every waking second of his day, he's thinking about her, talking to her. After he asked me on a date, which I was very confused and very upset. And I really didn't want the date at first, but as time went by, I began like thinking about it and like preparing for it, and I eventually became excited for it. I was like, okay, this will be fun. Like, we can go on a date. Maybe things will happen. Like, maybe we can get back together. It didn't sound so bad anymore. But like a week or two went by and he hadn't mentioned the date at all. And he hadn't made any time for me. He was never home. He was always at work, always with his friends, always with this girl. And it sucked because I was used to him always being home and we'd spend all of our free time together, but he didn't have free time anymore because all of it went to his new friends. So there were plenty of opportunities that I was available to go on a date, but he didn't make himself available. He just didn't come home after work. So pretty much every day for a long time, maybe if a few weeks or a month, every night I would wait up for him to come home because he came home from work usually at like 11 p.m. I would stay up and I'd wait up for him wondering if he'd be home, and he just stopped showing up. He never came home. And I brought up our date. I was like, so when were you planning on taking me? And he was like, oh, I didn't think we were going anymore. I was like, hello, what do you mean? Like, you never called it off. I've been waiting. Like, I've been making time, just making sure that I'm available all the time so that we can go if you want to. Like, in my head, I was just picturing, okay, he comes home from work one day and we go. Like, I don't know. He never canceled though. The last thing he said to me about it was, do you want to go? So he like canceled it in his head without telling me, and I had been anticipating this date for a week or two. And by the time he said that, I was really disappointed and upset. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I want to go. Let's go. And he ended up saying something like, well, I don't really want to go with you anymore. I don't want to go out with you. And that hurt a lot because, I mean, I had been thinking about him and reconsidering everything, and my feelings went from like 0 to 100 real fast. And he somehow rejected me when he was the one who asked me out. Let that like sink in. He asked me out, I said yes, and then somehow I got rejected. And then next thing I know, this girl is everything, but they were never official, nothing ever happened. He just finally one day admitted to liking her, and he's just so dumb and predictable. Like, I knew he liked her. He made it so obvious, but it was just so relieving to hear him finally admit it, because he had always denied it. So it's not like I was upset or shook when he told me he liked her. It was like, yeah, you've been liking her, idiot. So, I don't understand the point of asking me out. I was very confused. I was very upset. He really led me on. He really made me think that he wanted to get back together. And then, like I said, right after that, he stopped giving me attention, and he just took everything away from me that we had. And he started being a total fucking asshole. Because when I started to ask him, like, why aren't you doing all these things that you used to do? Like, why aren't you sleeping with me anymore? Why aren't you, like, talking to me? Why are you stopping all of these things? And he's like, well, we're not together, so. And I'm like, well, that doesn't matter. We weren't together before. That's an invalid argument. Like, it's one thing if we just broke up and you started saying we're not together anymore, but we had been single doing that stuff this whole time. So what really changed? Nothing. The girl. That's what changed. That's it. But that was just a fucked up way to kind of make me feel like something was wrong with me. Like, how dare you expect me to treat you like we're in a relationship? That's basically what he was saying to me. And I was like, I'm not. I'm expecting you to keep up our friendship the way we have been this whole time. I don't understand why anything needs to change right now. So our date got called off. And at this point, dude, I wanted to get back together with him so bad. He really, really had me fucked up. And he started just pushing me away in every way possible. And being mean. I can't stress this enough. He was so mean for no reason. And he did things just to make me upset. I just don't understand why somebody would do that, especially when that person's not provoking you. I wasn't doing anything. I was just minding my own business, and he would just say things that he knew would make me upset. He would purposely talk about this girl. One day I texted him asking where he was because, get this, I was upset and lonely, and I was missing him a lot. And my dumbass texted him thinking that I could maybe get him to come home and comfort me. Just maybe, right? Maybe somebody would be here for me. So I texted him saying, hey, where are you? Like I said, in hopes of following that up with, can you please come home? Like, I need somebody right now. I can't be with myself right now. And he said I'm on a date. And I was like, what? Where? With who? What do you mean? He was like, I'm on a Tinder date. I didn't know he had a Tinder. Last I knew, he was interested in me since he asked me out, but obviously he was showing interest in this girl, so all I could assume was that he was out with her. But he said it wasn't her, and I was just so confused about why he was willing to date literally anybody except me at that point. And he let me think that for a few hours, and I was upset, and he knew that, and he was getting off to it. And later he ended up saying, LOL, you'd really think that I make a Tinder? That's so funny. He was joking. He didn't go on a date, but it really made him happy to make me upset for no reason. And I was like, how fucked up do you have to be to pretend that you're on a date to make me sad? Not jealous, but fucking sad. Like, depressed, upset, like, what the hell? He's so mean. I just don't get it. And he did that stuff on purpose all the time. He just made up stories and tried to just get to me in every way he could. And meanwhile, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't deserve any of this. The worst thing that I did was get jealous of that girl. That's it. That's all he can say that I did. And that's all he did say. Because I asked him multiple times, why are you treating me so badly? Out of nowhere. We were best fucking friends. He was nice. We got along. We had fun. I don't understand. Like, Again, it's not like we just broke up. We've been broken up for a year. This is not new. I just don't get it. And I reached out to the girl, and I was like, I texted her 3 times. 3 separate times. And the first, she left me unseen. The second, she left me unseen. And the third, she blocked me without even reading it. And each time I texted her, it was casual. I didn't like send her paragraphs, and I almost did. I almost did. There was a 4th time that I could have texted her, and I want to show you. I have a whole fucking paragraph on my phone still to her. And all I can think is what would have happened if I would have sent it. Because this was before, this was like when it just was starting to go on. See that? This was all for her. I spent so much time, and this was on December 22nd. I spent so much time thinking about her because basically she took over that #1 relevant person in my life role. It went from Aaron to her because all of a sudden he was being an asshole directly because of her, and I knew that. I'm not stupid. And it got to the point where it was like, there's no point in trying with him anymore, but now I need to try with her. This is the only way things can get better. I need to get her to understand how big of a relationship she's fucking up. This is the only fucking thing I had. My happiness. My support system. You took that away from me. And you didn't even hear me out. I was gonna be friends. I wanted to be friends with her because he talked about her so much and had always the nicest things to say about her. And I was like, wow, she seems really fun. Like, she seems like somebody I would get along with. Can I hang out with you guys? I said that to him because I had always hung out with his friends, whether we were together, broken up. Labels don't matter, all right? After we broke up, nothing changed. It was the same shit. He made friends in Memphis after we broke up, and I hung out with them together. We were friends. It didn't matter if we were broken up. And here, he made friends, and this was the first time he didn't share his friends with me. And I didn't get it. I was like, why do you not want your friends to know who I am? Are you, like, ashamed of me? He refused. There was parties he went to. I was like, invite me. Please ask if I can come. I'm so lonely. I have no one to hang out with. I'm depressed. I need distractions. Please just bring me. Just let me be friends with your friends. Just let me be a part of your life like I always have been. Just treat me like a person who has feelings, whose mom just died, who needs a fucking friend. And he said no every time. And I almost texted her saying, hey, I know you're having a party. Please let me come. Please tell Aaron to invite me. I really want to be there. I really want to get to know you. I really need friends here. I'm so lonely, and you guys seem so cool and fun, and I don't understand why he is trying so hard to keep us apart. And that's what part of that long text was. Just part of it. But after she blocked me, I got really hurt. It felt like a breakup, literally, with a girl I've never talked to before, with a girl who never gave me a chance. She broke my heart. And I was thinking that she was this nice girl who I would want to be friends with. And she knew who I was. She knew that I was Aaron's roommate. And she had been to my house. Literally, I was not home. Like, one time. I went to Florida to see my dad for a weekend, I don't remember. The second I leave the fucking house, Aaron has her over. Of course. He jumps on that first opportunity he gets. And then I text her. 3 times, and then she blocks me. Who do you think you are, blocking somebody whose house you've been in? You fucking entitled bitch. Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? I'm not disposable. I'm a person. I have feelings and I'm upset, and you ruined my life directly. Everything is shit right now because of you. And you need to know that. I'm so tired of you thinking that you're so innocent and that, you know, just, oh, this cute boy walked into my life. And we're so cute together, and yeah, he lives with his ex, but I mean, she's like probably a bitch. I don't know, like we hate her for no reason, so we're just gonna be mean to her and neglect her and pretend that, you know, she doesn't matter. I matter. I matter, and I'm so tired of people treating me like I don't. And I hate that blocking people is an option. I hate how easy it is to ignore people online. I'm so tired of being seen as Aaron's bitchy ass ex. Like, are you kidding? I don't know anything, but I feel like that's the way he talks about me. And I hate it because I am so fucking innocent. I'm not mean, I'm not cruel, I don't abuse him or make him miserable or ruin his life. This isn't me, but it has been for a while. This isn't the default me, this is me going through some shit. And I can't believe that I'm about to put this online. But I can't keep pretending. And I had to tell you guys at some point that he and I were broken up. And I think, truthfully, the reason I had not told you is because I was hoping deep down that we would get back together and that I could just pretend nothing happened, that we never broke up and that we had been together the whole time. I left that an option. But he moved out and blocked me on everything. And he stole from me, and he terrorized me, and I have bad dreams about him. I'm scared of him. This was after he'd moved out. He tried coming into my house after he already had his own, and nothing left of his was there. I don't think he understands what that really did to me. He actually traumatized me. I'm not kidding. I was afraid for a really long time to leave the house or to be home alone, which is ironic because those two things are opposites. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid to leave my doors unlocked. I was afraid that he made a copy of my key. I had to call the cops on him. This isn't to be taken lightly. He wasn't teasing me or, you know, he was threatening me. Because what happened was, the last thing that we had to do to get him out of the house was figure out who was going to get what furniture and how we were going to even that out. And then that was the last step, and things were still civil at this point. He hated me and he was mean to me, but we were civil. And I was like, when are you free to talk about the furniture? And he was like, tomorrow. And I was like, cool, me too. So just come over tomorrow and we can talk. And then later that day, I texted him saying, sorry, I'm not free tomorrow anymore. I have homework to do. I didn't realize how much I had. I'll let you know when we can reschedule. And he didn't reply. So I texted him again a few hours later saying, basically, don't come. Like, I can't. Like, just confirming that I'm not free yet again tomorrow. And once Alex moved in, Aaron gave him the house key. And Aaron only had the garage door opener. And the door between the house and the garage was always left unlocked. So that way when Aaron wanted to come in, he just comes through the garage. And what I did a few days prior was lock that garage door because he had nothing left in the house and he already had his own place. And there was no reason for him to be in the house again. So I locked that door and I made it so that he could only access the garage because that's where all of his stuff was that he hadn't moved into his new place yet. the day that we planned on talking, but I canceled, he opened the garage expecting to come inside. And I heard him try to open the door, and all of the lights were off, and it was dark outside. It was scary. He didn't know that I was home, I don't think, because he couldn't have known. But he was trying to get in, and I heard him fucking with the door. It felt like somebody was trying to break in, because, like, once you see the door is locked, you don't fucking, like, fucking leave. Like, go home. And what was really sketchy is, well, I mean, first of all, why was he trying so hard to get in the first place if nothing there was his? And second, he called somebody on speaker. I heard the phone ringing, and I thought, if he should be calling anyone right now, it's me, to tell me to let him in. He wasn't calling me. My phone wasn't ringing. He was calling somebody else. And I was like, who the fuck could you be calling right now while you're locked out of my house? So after he was trying to open the garage door, he went around to the front of the house and spammed the hell out of my doorbell. Like, I was literally like, oh my God. He was acting crazy, and my car was parked in front of the house, so he knew I was there. At that point, he knew I was home. I was waiting for him to leave, and I was tiptoeing around the house, checking all the windows, checking all the doors. I was very scared, and I waited for him to leave through the garage, and I waited to hear that door close. And my heart was pounding through my chest this whole time, and I was pacing, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, he's at my house, he's trying to get in. So I blocked the door. I moved all of my furniture, like the chair, the ottoman, like the table, everything. I put it in front of that garage door in case somehow he did get it open, he still wouldn't be able to come inside. But I did hear him leave, and it took me like a good 10 minutes of courage to work up to go down to the garage and confirm that he and his car were gone. And I knew damn well that there was a small chance that if I went down there, he could be hiding behind the corner, just waiting for me. And he had hurt me before, physically. But I went downstairs, and I saw that his car was gone. And I saw that the washer and dryer that he bought was gone, and it was there earlier. So while he was there, right, he got the rest of his stuff, and he took his washer and dryer. He took the microwave that we bought together. I went back upstairs, pretty upset and scared, because I knew when you put the pieces together, he had a truck with him. He had a towing something to bring that stuff with him. That doesn't fit in his car. Somebody was with him driving a truck. And then I went upstairs, and he called me. And I was a little confused about why he was calling me after he left. By the way, the person that he was calling before the call like failed or hung up or something, because I didn't hear anybody say anything. I heard ringing, and then I heard like a call fail type of noise, and I was like, what the fuck? And he called me, and I pretended like nothing happened. I was like, hello? And he was like, I'm coming back. And I was like, no, I'm not free today. I told you that we need to reschedule. I can't talk today. And he was like, well, I'm coming back anyway. And I was like, for what? I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, I just went to Alex's work and I got the key from him, so I'm just gonna come in. And I assumed he was bluffing, because why would Alex be that much of an idiot to give Aaron his house key when I specifically told Alex days before, Aaron is not allowed in this house no matter what. And that's why we had the garage door locked. Aaron wasn't allowed in. He was a threat. And Aaron said that Alex just gave him his key. So Aaron was saying that he's going to come back and just come inside with the key that he has through the front door. And I was like, okay, like, see you soon, because I thought like he was lying. And Alex texted me immediately the second Aaron hung up on me. Alex said, I just gave Aaron my key. And I was like, how? I don't understand why you'd be that stupid. He just put me at risk. He put my house at risk. Alex moved in with me. That was not his key to give away. That was not his anything to put at risk. Aaron was not our friend at the time. He was a very bad, evil person. And he just kept proving himself to be that. And literally the second Alex told me that Aaron had the key, I called the cops. Because when you think about it, if I told Aaron I wasn't free to talk and he said he's coming anyway, that means he's coming for something else. He wasn't coming to talk to me, and he didn't have anything left in the house. So my assumption was that he was gonna bring the truck to my house and fucking load my shit in and just steal from me. Because why else would he have gone? There's nothing else left for him there. So the cops answered, and I was like, look, this is really complicated and it sounds really stupid, but this person, my roommate, has a new place. He's still on my lease, but he doesn't live here anymore and nothing left is his. And he's trying to get in. Like, yes, he technically lives here, but he's not supposed to be allowed inside. Like, it was just so pathetic and stupid, and it didn't seem like an emergency, but it fucking was. I was in trouble, and I was scared. And they said, okay, where do you live? What kind of car does he drive? I told them, and I told them he was on his way with a key to come steal my things. Because Alex told me what Aaron wanted. He was like, yeah, he's coming to take the computer and all of like the whatever the fuck. Aaron was coming to take things. And Alex made it seem like, oh, it's no big deal, just let him have it. I was like, hell, what? What? Literally, dude, I still just don't fucking get it. So, Aaron was coming with the key, and I told the cops his car, and they were like, well, we'll send somebody out, and if Aaron gets there before the cops do, just give us a call and keep us updated. And so what I had to do was sit on my couch, going like this, looking through the blinds, nervously waiting for a car to pull up. And there was so much tension, and I was so afraid. And I was just praying, please, please let the cops come first. Because I didn't have the front door barricaded. If Aaron came with that key, he could have came right inside, and there was nothing I could do to stop him. And since he's hurt me before, specifically, oddly, with doors, I knew that there was no point in trying to hold the door closed or keep him from coming in. I was going to inevitably get hurt. And the reason I didn't barricade that door is because I knew if the cops were coming, I wanted them to be able to come in. So, that was probably stupid on my part, but I waited and waited, and I was looking out the window, and it was fucking dark out. It was scary out. It felt like I was in a horror movie. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I had to call the cops because I'm afraid of somebody who used to be my friend a few months ago coming to rob me and terrorize me. He was not himself. He isn't himself. Something happened, and I don't know what. But I saw a car pull up. I saw headlights right in front of my house, and it was Aaron's car. And I ran upstairs. There was nothing I could do. My lights were off, the door was locked, and I sprinted up the stairs, and I started to dial 911. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. He's gonna take things. And what I did though is I took my computer and I hid it upstairs in my room because I knew that was like the number one thing he was after. So I took that upstairs and I locked it in my room. All my most valuable things I locked behind my door. So that way if he did get in the house, he still couldn't get in my room and get to those things. So he had access to the furniture and like nothing that was like electronic type stuff really. But still, like, several hundreds of dollars of stuff he had access to, which didn't belong to him. And I heard the door unlock, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, he's in my house. And I was hiding upstairs in Alex's room, dialing 911. And as it was ringing, I heard talking downstairs, and I was like, oh my god, Aaron's here with his friend, and they're gonna, like, you know. So I was listening to the conversation that they were having downstairs, and quickly, based on context clues, I figured out it wasn't his friend that was with him, it was the cops. So I hung up the phone and I ran downstairs. I fucking ran, and I was like, thank God you're here, get him out of my house. I really wanted to make it seem like I was the victim, and I was, but I needed to make it clear that he did not belong there. Like, yes, it's technically his house, he's on the lease, but he is not allowed here, and he needs to leave. I made it very clear that I was civilly talking to him about a time that we would meet up, and that today didn't work for me and he showed up anyway, and that, yeah. So the cops looked at Aaron kind of like he was stupid and like he was a predator, and basically Aaron had nothing to say to defend himself because like he was wrong, he shouldn't be there. And the cops basically told him to leave. They're like, yeah, she's right, you guys need to talk about this, you can't just like come take things. Like, today doesn't work, she has homework, leave. Like, figure out another time or take it to court. So they walked him out, and I like stood by the front door, like watching them outside. And they were like, you can go inside now. And I was like, well, I need my key back. Like, he has my key. And they were like, oh, well, technically we can't make him give that back to you. And I was like, so at the end of the day, Aaron leaves with a key to my house. He didn't have a key before, but now he does. So now I can't leave the house alone. I have to be home at all times. Somebody always has to be home. The doors have to be barricaded at all times. He can show up whenever he wants now and just come in as he pleases. Stupid. So, he left, and the next day, thank God, was my day off. I barricaded all the doors. I stayed downstairs. I watched and listened through like all the windows, and I was like really keeping an eye on everything, just making sure that everything was safe, that I was safe. I did not feel safe. I was on edge the entire day, and all that homework I was supposed to be doing didn't really happen because I was so freaking paranoid and worried about literally everything else besides my homework. He never used that key, but I was just waiting. I knew he could have. I decided to just throw him the money because he was being so difficult, and obviously he didn't want to talk about the furniture. I was like, whatever, dude, just, I'll give you $450 and leave me the hell alone. Like, do not come back. Don't ask for anything. I will buy everything off of you for $450 if you just leave me alone. And he was like, we need to meet somewhere because you have my hangers and you need to give them back. And I was like, you're really worried about like $2? Seriously? That's so petty. And they're like the only hangers I have. Like, he gave me these hangers over a year ago. He doesn't need them. That was just a petty move. The main thing that we needed to meet up for was to get the key back. And Alex and I were gonna go to Walmart to go shopping or whatever. Aaron said, I'm not coming to your house. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? Like, you've been coming here. Why would you not just come drop the keys off? Like, you're the one who took it. You're the one who wouldn't give it back. Like, what is wrong with you? And he was just very adamant about not coming to my house for whatever reason. So the plan was to meet at Walmart, and he was going to give us the keys, and I was going to give him the hangers, and that was going to be it. And so we went to Walmart, right? And before this, literally right before we left, we were talking about how, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like, we can't leave the house alone. Aaron could come at any time. And our dumbasses went to Walmart together. We left the house locked, but that was it. Not barricaded. We just trusted that Aaron was going to go to Walmart, which of course, he didn't. When we said that we were at Walmart, Aaron went to our house with the key, came in, and stole some things from the kitchen. Could have been worse. He could have went upstairs, found the computer, taken that, blah, blah, blah. The point is, he manipulated the shit out of us. He was waiting for a time when neither of us would be home. He convinced us, no, we have to meet somewhere. You can't be home. We have to meet. He told us to leave so he could come and steal from us. And right before that, he forced me to pay the $450. Because at Walmart, get this, we met at Walmart, and we were like, where are you? And he was like, I'm at school, like doing stuff. And when he got there, he was harassing me, like, pay me the $450, pay me, Zell me. And I was like, okay, chill the fuck out. So I paid him, and then my stuff was in the car, the hangers were in the car, and Aaron was like, I'm not giving you the key until I get the hangers. And we had a whole cart full of shit because while Aaron was taking forever to get there, Alex and I were shopping. And we were ready to check out. So I stayed inside with the cart. And Aaron and Alex walked out to my car. Aaron didn't even say bye to me. He just turned and left. That was the last time I saw him, and I had a feeling that it was going to be. And I was mad. I wasn't really sad. I was just very, very irritated. He's just such a dick for no reason. So they went outside, and that's when Alex gave Aaron his hangers back, and that's when Aaron told Alex, by the way, I went to the house before I came here, and I said bye to Rocky. Of course, not me though. Never say bye to me, but make sure to say bye to the cat. That's good. And I took some pots and pans because Mel didn't pay me for whatever the fuck, which doesn't make sense because I specifically explained to him $450 for everything, and that was generous. I did the math after, and I should have paid him less. That what I bought off of him was not worth $450, and then he had the audacity to show up to my house right after the cops told him to fuck off the day before. How manipulative. What a shit person. Because he's putting me in the position where I'm out of a roommate and I have to pay full rent by myself. I paid $1,000 for this month by myself. I can't afford that shit. I can barely afford half of that. He put me in that situation, right? I'm out of a roommate because he decided to leave. And then he stole from me. Fucking bullshit. And I had nothing to fucking cook with. I had noodles, but I couldn't make dinner because I had nothing to make it in. It was just so petty. Everything he does is just so petty, and I don't get it. Like, fuck off. Like, you're the one who wanted to get your own place. Buy some pots and pans, you cheap ass. What's wrong with you? And he already had some. So that's how I know it was even more petty. Because we made an agreement. It was like, you get one, I get one. We, like, split it up, and we did the math for who paid for what. I paid for those pots and pans with the $450, and he took them anyway. That was theft, but it was just so stupid that it's like, what's the point in reporting that, you know? So my dad was like, dude, I know you're mad, just take the L, it's fine, he's out of your life now. But I was just so furious. I'm still furious, look at me, I'm like crying thinking about it. Like, literally being so mad that you cry is just a fucking mood, dude. That's been me for so long. He's such an ass. So he blocked me that night. After he stole from me, I got home and saw what he took, and I texted him, you fucking snake, you owe me. And then I was blocked on everything. And that must have been the beginning of February, like exactly a month ago from today. Today is March 6th. Processing the fact that he blocked me has been hard because, again, I'm innocent. I haven't done anything to be blocked. If anything, I should have blocked him because he was the one who was harassing me and being mean, and he was being the toxic person. I was just so fucking, like, I was just minding my own business all the time. Just, oh my gosh, I don't know. Just witnessing all of this shit go down right in front of my eyes and not being able to do anything about it. Watching him completely change as a person. Watching his priorities just get all mixed up. Like, I was last. I was up here before, and then he dropped me to the ground, dude. I didn't get it. And I know him very well, though. I know him very well, and I know that something's wrong. I've seen him go through things like this before where something happens, like a life change happens. This happened when his grandma died. He got very mad at me, and we were dating at the time, like good terms, in love, like doing well. When his grandma died, he changed overnight, and he got mad at me. He started to blame everything on me. He started to be really unhappy with me. He started to neglect me, which is understandable because he's going through a hard time, but also it's not a good excuse to treat somebody like shit just because you're depressed or whatever. And right around when his flip switched again on me, his dog died. So it's like, well, here we go again, you know. I knew that it had a lot to do with life changes for him. It wasn't ever actually something I did. He wasn't mad at me. He was mad at life, but he always took it out on me. That was just his favorite thing to do. Some shit happens and he takes it out on me. And that's the kind of boyfriend he is. And girl, enjoy it. I can't wait for you to have to deal with that. I'm so excited for you. Um, so yeah, his dog died, and then overnight he just didn't like me anymore. He didn't want to get back together anymore. And he just started being dismissive. And that was just it. That was it right there. No more relationship, no more friendship, no more nothing, no more Aaron. Bye bye. And I know the default him. I know the way that he's supposed to be. I know what he's like when he's neutral. And he wasn't neutral, and he hasn't been for a long time. This is not him. I haven't seen him in a month, I guess, so maybe he changed back, but I'm just confused and concerned because what normally happens is when he's not himself, when he comes back, he goes to me. And I told him while this was going on, while he was still living with me, I was like, this isn't you, and I'm here. I know how to deal with you when you're not yourself. I can help you better than anyone else can. I know you. I've been through this with you before. And he just blew off all of my offers, and I was like, whatever. Just know though that if you come back to me, I might not be here because you have been treating me so inhumanely that I would be a shithole to myself for allowing you to come back. And I gave him that warning and he just shrugged it off. So I did what I could. And I really put myself out there. And I got so hurt. And it was crazy because it was like going through a breakup a year after it happened, you know? We had already been broken up for a year. And I was just starting to feel it then because I was never really upset about it at first. But the breakup was really starting to kick in when he blocked me and when he wasn't living with me anymore. Because I think the reason it didn't affect me before is because the difference between dating and not dating for us wasn't big at all. Because whether we were dating or not, we still lived together, we still hung out, we still did all this other stuff. Everything was the freaking same. Like, there was no difference between dating and not dating, and that's why I kept mentioning labels and why does it matter what we call ourselves? It's the same shit no matter what. We were basically dating. It seemed like we were together for a long time, and now though, this is what a breakup is supposed to feel like. This is what I should have felt a year ago, and I'm very upset that it was this delayed because I should be fucking like very much over it right now, very much ready for a new relationship, but it feels like I just got out of a long relationship and I hate that because I for the past year before this happened, while he and I were still on good friend terms, which is only a few short months ago, I felt like I was ready for a new relationship. But now it's like I backtracked and I am not ready anymore. But I really want to be. And I want to, like, I keep telling myself that I probably am ready because I was before, so it's like, how could I go from ready to not ready? I think that what's going on is that I'm just overwhelmed with all the things going on in my life, like this, that it's like causing me to have an emotional reaction. I don't think it means that I'm not over him. I just think it means that it's a hard fucking time and I'm losing like my best friend. And that's hard. That would be hard for anyone, and this is normal. I don't think it means that I'm not ready or something for whoever's next, because I can't fucking wait for whoever's next, bro. Like, please send him my way. But I've been so lonely, dude. And I mean that in like a relationship-y way. I mean that in a Aaron took away all of my affection kind of way. Like, I need something. It sucks. I want a boyfriend. I'm fucking needy. I need to get back what I had. He took all of it away overnight, so I'm going through like extreme withdrawal because I just had that. So anyway, after all of that happened, this is me now. It's been a month since he's talked to me, and I dream about him all the time. I think about him all the time. it is a huge loss. And I'm about to say something that is gonna sound terrible, but I need to be honest with you guys. And I feel like some of you out there would be able to relate to this, and it'll be nice to know that you're not the only one. But losing him has been much harder than losing my mom. And he is still alive. I hadn't been living with my mom for over a year, so I was used to not seeing her. And then with Aaron, it was constant. He was there for everything. So losing him had a much bigger effect on me. And the thing that really sucks is that I know if my mom had a choice, she wouldn't have left me. Aaron left on purpose. He did that and he didn't have to. And it hurts a lot more to be left by somebody who doesn't have to leave. Aaron didn't care about me. The things that he said were just so uncalled for, and nobody should ever say things like that to another person. He said, I don't care about you. You don't matter to me. My mind is blanking now. I don't know why it does this, but again, I know he's said so many fucked up things to me that really hurt and really stayed with me. And it really especially hurt coming from him, somebody who used to think the opposite, somebody who used to care about me so much. Hearing him say that he doesn't give a shit what happens to me, that hurt. And it still hurts. And I still miss him, and it sucks because I know I shouldn't. Like, I know that I should not want somebody that bad to be in my life, but I miss him so much. And sometimes I dream about us getting back together and being happy, and I know I can never have that back. And what really sucks is that in my last video, I was telling you guys about my first love and how he's like always gonna stay with me. I don't care about that guy anymore. Aaron totally took his place. And I know now that Aaron is always gonna be the one who stays with me. And I hate that because the other guy is a lot more harmless, I guess. And Aaron is just the worst person ever. And I don't want any temptations to go back to him because, again, who would I be to let somebody like that back? And you guys really, you need to understand how mean he is. And I always use this example when people say, how is he mean? Like, that's so vague. Like, mean is like a weird word. Like, I don't get it. Here's what I mean by mean. One day, my mom's friend texted me. This was probably a few months ago. Aaron was still living with me. This was right around when he was stopping sleeping with me, when I was constantly upset. I would cry over him every single day while he was in my house. It was very, very bad. And he saw me crying and he didn't do anything. But one specific day, my mom's friend texted me saying, how is your mom? I haven't heard from her in a while. And I had to be like, oh my God, I don't know how to tell you this, but yeah. And she called me and we talked about my mom for a long time, which was hard because I don't talk about my mom. That's not something I do. I'm not used to like dwelling on it. I like to pretend that everything is fine and that nothing happened. But my mom is gone. And that was the first time that I was like forced to talk about it and acknowledge it and be like, yeah, this sucks. I miss her and I don't know what to do without her. But we talked about it and we reminisced, and that was a hard day. And when I got home, I told Aaron today was really hard. Like, I need a hug. I am struggling. I need you to be here for me right now because we were still kind of friends. We were still supposed to be friends. Um, I still had those friend expectations from him, even though I probably shouldn't have. And he was like, I have places to be with that girl, obviously, but he didn't say so. Um, and I was like, but I need you right now. We're friends. We're supposed to be friends. Like, I need somebody. Today was really hard. And he hugged me for like half a second and then like pushed me off. And I was like, please, can you just do a little better than that? Like, I need actual support right now, and you're just being a dick. Like, can't your friends wait like 2 seconds? Like, Jesus Christ, like his priorities. Okay, so my camera keeps dying and stuff, and people keep interrupting me. And Rocky is very much in my way right now. Okay, this will be good. Right? Is that good? No? Alright, I'm gonna try to finish this up. So I was in the middle of saying that Aaron should have prioritized me over that girl and his friends that he was gonna go hang out with because, like, I was in need and whatever and really upset and I had a really bad day. So I was just, like, really mad that he was, like, in such a rush to leave and, like, go to whatever his stupid plans were. He had plans every single day. It's not like it was a special occasion. Like, all he does is just go hang out with them. It wasn't a big deal. Like, if it meant making me feel better, he should have stayed. A good friend would have stayed, at least for a little bit. Or invited me to his plans, or literally anything, but whatever. So, here's the part that's mean. After he was saying, like, I have places to be, I just, like, ignored him and started talking about my day because, like, I needed to get it off my chest and I needed him to be there, and I was really just fed up with him being such a bad friend. And it sucked that I didn't really have any other options at the time. Like, I didn't really have that good of friends here yet. So, like, he was my only friend. So, I don't know, like, I needed what I could get. So we were in here in my room, and my door's right there. I don't know if you can tell, but I closed that door and just started talking to him, and he walked up to the door and tried to open it. And he was, like, very, very much trying to leave while I was talking to him. And I was just saying, like, yeah, my mom's friend called me today, and it was really hard. Um, and he just completely ignored me and kept trying to leave and open the door while I was holding it closed. I was trying to hug him, and he was trying to push me off. And then I started crying, and then I was like, I miss her, which I hadn't said ever, basically, like, in a long time. I don't know. It went from being about my mom's friend and basically feeling bad that she had to find out that way, because that's really shitty, and being overwhelmed, like, from talking about it. But then, like, saying that I miss her, like, that's a whole different type of fucked up. That's a different type of sad. Like, I miss my mom and there's nothing I can do about it. Um, I mean, if a friend won't be there for you for that, what kind of fucking friend is that? And I thought for sure, there's no way he would be that bad to leave after I say that. So I tested him. I let go of the door to see. After saying, I miss my mom, would he still leave? And he opened the door and walked out and didn't look back. Closed the door behind him too, and left me there crying. And I think that right there explains what kind of friend he was toward the end of everything. And just the fact that it was overnight is so important, because before that he would have been cuddling me and hugging me and saying it's okay. So I lost the most important person in my life, and it wasn't my mom. It was Aaron, which is insane and terrible, but it's the truth, and I need to tell you the truth. But what's nice about it, though, is that for the past month I've been getting better. I've been finding distractions and friends and other things to look forward to. Um, and I don't miss Aaron as much as I used to. If I tried making this video a month ago, I'd be a complete mess, which is insane because I'm already a mess, but like it would be much worse. But what sucks so bad is I used to always dream about like being happy with him, but now I dream of him like breaking into my house and terrorizing me, and like I'm scared of him. I'm afraid of him knowing where I live. Um and I loved it here. I thought this place was amazing, but he ruined it for me, and now I just associate it with like trauma. So I did get my locks changed finally, so that in case he did make a copy of the key before he gave it back to Alex, he still can't get in. And he did eventually sign the roommate release form, so he's not legally allowed to come in anymore, and he doesn't have a key. Yet still somehow I worry about it and I dream about it and I'm paranoid. But that's basically the highlight of my life right now, or the low light, I guess. Aaron left, and all I have now is memories and pictures. And speaking of, every single day on my Snapchat, he pops up in my memories. I was with him for like 3 to 4 years. Every single day. It's just very overwhelming losing somebody so fast, so out of nowhere, who was such a constant in your life for so long. But yeah, so he's gone. And just today, I found out that he and that girl are officially dating, and they have been for 2 months. While he was still living with me, while all of that was going on, while I cried over him every single night, he was with her. And I called it, and I was very jealous of her at first. But lately, I have been thinking, I'm not jealous. I can't wait to see what happens. It's gonna be a disaster. If he's like this and he treats people like that, honey, good luck making that last any more than 6 months. I'm not jealous at all. I'm quite amused, actually. And I know that he is not ready to be in a relationship right now, and that's gonna fucking fail. It's gonna burn, dude, and I'm gonna laugh. That is karma, and I just can't fucking wait for the universe to just pay him back for all of the negativity he's thrown out there. He's gonna get it so bad. And I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and enjoy the show. They're together, whatever. It's fine. Just kind of bothers me that I am blocked and that he can't see how I'm doing. He thinks I'm doing terrible, and I kind of am, but things have been getting better. And I wish I could, like, I don't know, I wish there was a way to show him that, like, fuck you, I'm gonna move on. I did move on, bitch. Like, bye. But I want him to know I'm thriving. And something is happening at the end of this month. I have big plans, and I don't want to tell you. Well, I do want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you because I know that the only way he has of knowing how I am is through this channel. This video is the only thing he could see from me. And I'm not going to let him know anything about my life other than what's already happened. I'm not telling him my future. I'm not going to let him know where I am or who I'm talking to or anything. He doesn't deserve that information. He doesn't deserve to know anything about me. And I guarantee, I literally guarantee that the second this video comes out, I'm going to lose like 3 or 4 subscribers because of him. Because I bet like that's the only thing he forgot about. He blocked me on everything except YouTube. He did not unsubscribe because I know I would have lost multiple if he did. So just waiting for my number to go down after he sees this, which is fine. He can be petty if he wants to, but that's not going to stop me from anything, and I don't really care. And I hope he sees this, and I hope he realizes what a piece of shit he is. But he's so shitty, actually, that he doesn't see any of his mistakes. So he's not going to. He's going to continue to think that he's innocent, he hasn't done anything wrong, but it's fine, I guess. I'm moving on, and I have so much brighter of a future ahead of me, and so many better friends out there than him, and I'm just really excited for whatever's next. So I'll keep you guys updated with that, but Alex left too. I neglected to mention that. I lost Aaron and I lost Alex. Alex moved out a few weeks ago at this point, so a few weeks after Aaron left, Alex left, and I was left with nobody, which was quite bad timing because I was going through a really hard time with Aaron and all of that, like being left, but it's actually not going as bad as I thought it would. I thought that once Alex left, I would be really lonely and I would be a mess and I would hate living alone and I would just be dying to get out of here, but actually I am quite enjoying it. And I didn't think I would, so that's a relief. But I can't wait to have a roommate again. One, because I can't afford to live alone, and two, I do thrive a lot better with another person. It's really hard for me to just like be stuck in one place with all my thoughts and all of my energy and not be able to like share that with somebody, so it'll be nice to eventually get that back. But yes, losing Aaron and Alex and my mom all relatively at the same time within the past 6 months or something, and Aaron and Alex only in the past month, it's a lot. It's a fucking lot. And my mom feels like it was last month because it's just such a big relevant thing. Like, being dead is much different than being blocked, you know? So, lots of loss all at the same time, lots of hurt, lots of betrayal, but it's okay. Thank God I'm not at rock bottom anymore, but I definitely was right around when Aaron was leaving, I think. Why is my computer doing that? My computer's back there and it's just like randomly turning on and it's kind of freaking me out. But anyway, better lighting now. Not really though, what is that? But I was for sure at rock bottom, the absolute lowest point in my life, only a few weeks ago, and my one friend, I have one friend and I'm not going to say who it is, mostly because I don't want Aaron to know anything, because fuck him, but I have one amazing fucking friend who has been helping me through everything and who has been making me feel so much better, and I really appreciate that friend. And now I'm not doing as bad as I was before, and I guess I look forward to whatever's next. So I just wanted to update you and tell you that I'm alone now, and I'm scared now, and I'm excited now. There's a lot of things going on all at once. I don't like posting all this sad shit, but sorry, this needed to happen, and I feel like whatever's next, there's no way it'll be this bad or as bad as my other video about my mom. I think we're all good now. I think it's uphill from here. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore, dude. I don't know what I can tell you to expect. But subscribe if you're new, because you're either gonna get this sad shit or you're gonna get really happy stuff. And fun things, like with Rocky, for example, who's barely here in the video. And I do other things like play games and talk and expose myself and expose other people, but not really. Mostly just myself. Except for this video. But anyway, I'm just gonna end it, dude, because my camera's gonna die again. So I love you guys. Thanks for the support. My fucking computer just turned off again. I'm so confused. Anyway, I will see you next time. Guys, I hate ending videos. This is so weird. Okay, I'm just gonna peace out.